In developing self-awareness, many of us will discover ineffective scripts, deeply embedded habits that are totally unworthy of us and totally incongruent with the things that we really value in life. Habit 2 says we don't have to live with those scripts. We are responsible to use our imagination and in our creativity to write new ones that are more effective and more congruent with our deepest values, with the correct principles that give our values meaning. We don't always see the things we value. We get caught up in the thick and thin of things, what matters most. We get buried under layers of pressing problems, immediate concerns, and outward behaviors. We become reactive, and the way I interact with people often bears little resemblance to the way I deeply feel about them. Because of self-awareness, I can realize that the script I'm living is not one of my own proactive design. And when I realize this, I can change. I can live out of my imagination instead of my memory. I can tie myself to limitless potential instead of limiting past and limiting beliefs about myself. One of the most effective ways I know to begin with the end in mind is to develop a personal mission statement or a philosophy, a creed. It focuses on what you want to be, your character and what you want to do, contributions and achievements, and on the values or principles on which you are being and doing are based. You could call a personal mission statement a personal constitution. Like the US Constitution is fundamentally changeless. It becomes the basis for making your life directions and decisions, the basis for making daily decisions in the midst of circumstances and emotions that affect our lives. In order to write a personal mission statement, we must begin at the very center of our circle of influence. It is here that we deal with our vision and values. It's here that we use our endowment of self-awareness to examine our paradigms and correct them. It is here that we use our endowment of conscience as a compass to help us detect our own unique talents and areas of contribution. It's here that we use our endowment of imagination to mentally create the end we desire, given direction and purpose to our beginnings and provide substance of a written personal constitution. It's also here that our focused efforts achieve the greatest results. As we work within the very center of our circle of influence, we expand it. So what our center does, whatever is at the center of our life, will be at the source of our number one security. Security represents your sense of worth, your identity, your emotional anchor, your self-esteem, your personal basic strength or your lack of it, guidance. Guidance means your source of direction in life, encompassed by your map, your internal framework reference that interprets for you what is happening out there. Your center also provides wisdom, and it's your perspective on life, your sense of value, your sense of balance, your understanding of how the various parts and principles apply and relate to each other. It embraces judgment, discernment, comprehension, and finally, power. Power is the capacity to act, the strength and potency to accomplish something. It is the vital energy to make choices and decisions. It also includes the capacity to overcome deeply embedded habits and to cultivate higher, more effective ones. These four factors are interdependent, and none of them is an all or nothing matter. They all lie on a continuum. Your security lies somewhere between extreme insecurity on one end, wherein your life is buffeted by all the fickle forces that place on it, and deep sense of high intrinsic worth and personal security on the other end. Your guidance ranges on the continuum from dependence on the social mirror to strong inner direction. Your wisdom falls somewhere between a total inaccurate map where everything's distorted and nothing seems to fit to a complete and accurate life map. And finally, your power lies somewhere between immobilization and being a puppet pulled by someone else's strengths to hide proactivity. There are a series of alternative centers. What we hope for is a principled centered person, but some alternative centers that are listed in your book. I'm going to highlight a few of them now. If you are possession-centered, your security is based on your reputation, your social status, or the tangible things you possess. You tend to compare what you have to what others have. If you're possession-centered, your guidance will You will make decisions based on what will protect, increase, or better display your possessions, your wisdom. You see the world in terms of comparative economic and social relationships. And finally, for power, you function within the limit of what you can buy or the social prominence you can achieve. If you are friend-centered, your security is a function of your social mirror. You are highly dependent on the opinions of others, your guidance, your decision-making criteria. What will they think? What will they think about you? You're easily embarrassed for. You see the world through a social lens. And finally, power. You're limited by your social comfort zone, and your actions are as fickle as an opinion. If you're self-centered, your security is constantly changing and shifting. As far as guidance, your judgment criteria are, if it feels good, what I want, what I need, what's in it. For me, your wisdom. You view the world by how decision and events and circumstances will affect you, and your ability to act is limited to your own resources without the benefits of interdependency. However, if you are principle-centered, your security is based on correct principles that do not change, regardless of external conditions or circumstances. You are guided by a compass, which enables you to see where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Your judgment encompasses a broad spectrum of long-term consequences and reflects on a wise balance and quiet assurance. And finally, your power is limited only by your understanding and observance of natural law and correct principles, and by these natural consequences of these principles themselves. So when we look at the center, now that we identify what we want our center to be, and maybe we've identified what it is, so we know we need to make some changes. Now we can work on writing and using a personal mission statement. This personal mission statement sets an overall purpose for your life. It should answer questions like, what do I want from my life? What do I value? What are my talents at the end of my life? What do I want to have accomplished? A personal mission statement is the beginning of personal leadership. It sets guidance for life by referring to it and internalizing its meaning. We make choices that serve values and reject the things that oppose them. Now I'd like you to go to the worksheet called the Have, Do, Be exercise. And in it, you're going to just take a few minutes and define the things that you want to have, possessions, money, etc. What do you want to do, experience, or travel? And what you like to be, the qualities of character that you want to possess. So take some time to identify those things through the worksheet, and all of this is going to help you in your final project for the 7 Habits experience in this course, which is writing your own mission statement. When you're done, come back to part 4.